And of course, there is a perception that Canada is being invaded by citizens of other developing countries. It is a familiar story to see Nigeria became the fourth leading source country of new immigrants to Canada behind India, China, and the Philippines. Several factors explain the rise in Nigerian immigration to Canada. The oil-rich nation, as you all know, being the giants of Africa, has seen its economic growth slow since the decline in global oil prices in 2014. As a result, more Nigerian professionals, middle class, and job seekers have sought to come to Canada in pursuit of predictable future as they all dreamed about it. Regardless of the pain of starting their life all over again, nobody cares. They just want to travel and see it happen. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the program. This is the Job Show with Abimbola Adewale on Job TV in New Jersey. On the news tonight, talking about the Job Show, there are three segments on the show tonight. We'll definitely be looking at the interview section with our professional friend in Canada that will be giving us and sharing insights on job seeking immigration to Canada, talking about professionals that desire to relocate to Canada. And of course, we'll also be looking at the few entrepreneurs that will be selling their ideas and their skills out to all employers of labor and business investors, talking about the sell yourself segment. And on the final interesting part of the show is where we put out vacancies, opportunities across the continent, and people can apply to those job information. Of course, Africa IT officers will be needed tonight on the show, talking about Nigeria. We'll also be looking at Europe, the vice president of operations needed in the United Kingdom. And then in North America, they are seeking for a stage technician needed in New York. And talking about Asia, we also look at the finance and accountants manager that we call CFO that is needed in Thailand. And we have this that says in the Oceanic, global teachers are needed in Australia. And you definitely cannot afford to miss any of these opportunities tonight. One thing you must do, just sit, get your pen and paper, and feel free to enjoy this episode tonight on the Job Show with the job man Abimbola Adewale. Every job is always a part-time. Stick around.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, Abdul, it's nice to have you on the show. How are
Thank
you,
you very
Abdul?
much for having me. Well, I'm
Yeah,
good. I'm
I'm
fine.
excited to finally have you on the Job Show.
Thank
For
you.
the benefit of people that are definitely watching but do not really have an understanding of who exactly is Abdul. Let me quickly take a rundown of what I have here. Wasil Abdul has spent his life using personal, social, and career experiences as an early childhood educator, an administrator, and a career to contribute to the growth of women development. He is also a highly organized, resourceful, and performance-driven leader with that has demonstrated capacity to deliver optimum value in a progressive environment. He is a seasoned learning and development strategist, alternative dispute resolution trainer, a nonviolent crisis interventionist, and certified graduate of JCI Nigeria Leadership Academy. He received his education at the University of Lagos with a master's in measurement and evaluation and holds a bachelor's in economics and education from Olabisi Onabanjo, and of course, a Nigerian that lives in Canada. Abdul,
Thank
welcome back
you.
again to the show. How are you this evening?
Well, I'm good this evening.
Yeah,
Thank you very much
I
for
must
having me.
confess, to you that I'm excited to really have you on the show. It's been a while we've been talking, and I must also encouraged by your die-hard followership of the Job Show. Tell me about the Job Show. What do you think about the Job Show? Let's start from there.
Job show has been a long journey for us since way back for some years now because I can vividly remember my first chat with you, where you gave me the grace that I should come and meet you at one of the radio stations there in Lagos. I can remember then, and you gave me some minutes on your live show, which I still appreciate till today. And the live show has been, if people don't really know about live show, about job show, sorry, job show has been like, has come a long way,
Thank you.
seriously a long way. And then we can't really do without hearing about job show
Listening to the
every
job show.
night.
Yeah. We're still here. I'm happy to say we're still here though. We're still doing it every time as we used to do far back in Lagos. Let's get to the point tonight. We'll definitely be cracking some ribs out and taking out information from you. Um, I'm opportune to have an idea of how you started and where you are right now. And the truth is that you are a Nigerian, but you are based in Canada as we speak. And
Yeah.
tonight we're going to split this into three series. That means we'll definitely take a series tonight. Then probably next week, whenever you see it necessary that you are available, we can take the second series. Then we'll take the final series as well. But we want to do it this way, where we discuss about your transition, from as a job seeker to a motivator to an entrepreneur, then you transited into Canada as we speak, because there are millions of Nigerians that has taken that motion to see if they can migrate to Canada. So I'm going to use you as a bit on this show to talk to us about that transitional process as we speak. So we will be looking at uh, professionals moving to Canada, migrating to Canada to seek for greener pastures as we have it. Let me ask you, I also know that you are an activist, that I definitely, you use sledgehammer, that you use sledgehammer on the Nigerian government. Tell us, what's your assessment of this government as we speak in Abuja?
Well, definitely, not to mince word, the government has not really done, they haven't really done very well, sincerely, because we expected a lot from them, way back to the campaign, the first time campaign, down to the second time campaign, we expected a lot from them. But sincerely, to assess them, they have not really done well, and they really disappointed us. We personally, probably let me say, I personally, they really disappointed me. So, but political evaluation is expected from them, but they are not that. Whenever people ask me a question in Canada about what I can differentiate between Canada and Nigeria, there is something I don't really tell them, which is value for hard work. I don't really tell them about the value for hard work. I can sincerely tell you, with the little time I've spent in Canada, you will appreciate every cent that you earn here.
Hmm.
You don't just sit somewhere in an office and be here and be using biro, a pen to illustrate any figure. No. When you work here, you appreciate your work. When you go for an interview in the morning, your interviewer, the person that interview you may be, how will I put this now? Maybe your Uber driver or Uber Eats delivery man in the evening. I hope you get what I'm driving at. So
I'm coming with
every
you.
job here is appreciated. The value of hard work is appreciated. So that's really distinguish the kind of orientation we have in our country and what we have here.
Okay, having said that, let's get to the business of tonight, where we look at the journey. Uh, People desire to journey from West Africa, from Africa to Canada, and it seems to me as if that's where Canada is happens to be, where the mind of, you know 10 out of 20 Nigerians wants to move to,
Yeah.
and I can't figure it out. Can you tell us why is it that Canada is a desire of an average Nigerian to migrate to?
In a layman's term, people see Canada as an avenue for them to explore. They see it as a country that's opened its door to a lot of people to come in and explore. And the kind of zeal we have as a Nigerian. You know the kind of determination we have as in Nigeria. Wherever we find ourselves, we want to explore, we want to go on an adventure, we want to have a means of livelihood. We are not a lazy person here. So everybody here works. So Canada opened the door for us to come in, and we are exploring that.
Okay, Canada opened the door for people to come in, and I can see that you personally you are exploring that, and you've not even started exploring it because we all can
How we
see
started.
your voice has systematically changed, and that's a sign that it's really working out for you. Let's talk about the process, and I'm going to ask you some definite questions. I do not intend to put you on the spot, but you must understand that as a tradition on the show, we just want to give awareness to people that desire to do exactly what you have done. Let me ask you, did you come into Canada as a professional or you come in as please educate us
I came to Canada as a professional.
as a professional? That's where I'm heading to. Can you give us an insight into because every time I receive requests from Nigerians for professionals, as I'm talking to you, I've got over 91, as at this morning, 91 requests of professionals that wants to travel to Canada. And you know, I have no explanation for this. So tell us from A to Z, using your template, what do I need to do as a professional? For example, a nurse, for example, a medical doctor, for example, a certified teachers. How do I transit to Canada? Tell us about it. Please, you have all the
Well, sincerely with you, it's a long journey and it requires determination. It requires you to make some definite decisions and a frame one at a point in time. Now, Canada needs a lot of professionals. They still need them to today. Doctors are not sufficient. Nurses are not sufficient. So majorly health workers are not even sufficient in Canada. They still need them. Now, the we will start by looking at the provincial government in Canada because the pathway to Canada, in summary, is in two. One is through permanent residence, and two is through temporary work permit. Now, on my own path, I came in through permanent resident as a permanent resident in Canada. The process of being a permanent resident in Canada is a long process. It requires you to submit some documentations and it requires you to go through a lot of segments. So it's not for a faint-hearted person because it's like you combining a life, all the life you have in a particular place or in a country, taking it to another country. So on the path of permanent residence, there are some factors that it entails. One, we have the federal skilled workers. And the second one, we have provincial nominations. Now, I said Canada needs professionals. The system is about the government. The federal government of Canada has its own program. Each province in Canada has their own immigration program. Now, if you can't fit into the federal program, or if you're not qualified enough to have the minimum score for the federal program, people like us easily go through the provincial government. Each province has their own demand list. They have the occupation demand list that because they do periodic audits of their strengths. So periodically, they will check if they have enough worker in social sector. So a professional or a sector that they may demand more workers there by probably like by first quarter of 2021 may change by second quarter of 2021 if they have enough. So that's why I said it's a long journey, it's a long process. But the easiest one is that if people are going through the federal skilled workers program, they need to have it has 6 factors. One of the factor is language skill. So that is where we have IELTS. The second factor is where we have what's it called? Education, the education level.
Okay. Is that
Now, for me not
qualification?
to, yeah, that's a qualification. So, but for me not to forget, for the Federal Skilled Workers Program, all the factors are they are point score or points to the factors.
Mm,
So generally we have like six factors, and the six factor has a total sum of 100 points. Now, the language skill worker, the language skill, which is the IELTS and all the other professional language testing examinations, the maximum score is 28 points. For the educational level, either BS diploma, BSc, masters, PhD, the maximum points you can have in that is like 25 points. Now, that is factor number two. The third factor is age. The third factor, as you are getting older, it tends to be like a negative factor to you
mm,
personally. So in the pool now, we have a lot of young people who are under the age of 30, like 25, 26, that have these factors that can easily meet up with this point. So
mm,
it's a lot of fight in the pool.
mm,
So the fourth one will be work experience. So the maximum score someone can get from the work experience is 15 points.
mm,
So someone that has 1 year experience, the points will be different from someone that has 3 years experience.
mm,
But the 3 years experience will be different from what someone that has 5 years or 10 years experience.
mm,
So the fifth factor will be arrange employment.
mm,
Arrange employment means probably you have a job offer in Canada. That's also another point. So that is a maximum of 10 points. And the last one will be adaptability. So adaptability in this sense means that probably you have studied in Canada before, or you have worked in Canada before, or you have a relative staying in Canada. So these are what they call adaptability. So and the maximum score for that is 10 points. So if we total the sum of the points, it gives us 100 points.
mm,
Now, in the other sense of the mathematics, I've given you the total maximum points we have now as 100 points. But to my understanding, there's something we called express entry pool.
mm,
That is like a software the government is using, or like we say, the kind of program the government is using. So to split it in a layman's term, the express entry is like, for example, being in a classroom where after examination, the teacher or the lecturer started calling people that okay, if you score 80% above, come out.
mm,
If you score 70% above, be on this side. If you score 60% above, be on this side. So that is how the express entry works. So before you can get into the express entry pool, you will need to submit the language skill, you submit your education, the educational equivalence, you input your age, you input your work experience, you input your adaptability. So all these will give you a total sum of 1,200
mm.
in the pool. So periodically, the government of Canada always do what they call draw.
Yeah.
So when they do the draw, they may tell you that okay, the minimum score for this draw is 450 above.
Mm,
So everyone that has 450 above will be invited to apply.
mm,
So being in the express entry pool doesn't give you the how is it called? Doesn't give you the automatic right or privilege that you'll be invited to apply for permanent residence.
mm,
So you need to go through all these processes. That's why I said the process is so long, and We have a lot of people that, that have done the IELTS English testing exam 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. People, we have a lot of people that share their experiences on it. So I tell people the basic requirement for you is that if you are interested in this, go and sit for the English testing exam. Make sure you pass at your maximum ability.
That's very deep. You've been able to put us through that process, but I still have to take you back to Nigeria. I have I have few followers on the show. I have a nurse. I also have a medical doctor. That I have two bankers. That work with one of the leading new generational bank as we speak. And we've discussed about this extensively on the possibility of relocating to or migrating to Canada. So let's use that as a as a stretch tonight. What I would if I need to do as a professional that works in the medical field as a nurse and I need to transit to Canada. I'm I'm at home, I'm in Lagos, Nigeria, and I've done my English proficiency examination, came out well. What are the steps to go about this? That's one. Can you tell us the duration that this might take? That's two. Then can you tell us the finance that is involved in all of this? Three, duration, finance, and what is the first step I need to take as a professional?
Well, as you've said, the first step is that we assume that we've passed the English exam.
Exactly.
Now, secondly, let us also assume, or I should say, that after the English exam, the person involved, the professional involved, should have evaluate his academic certificate,
Okay.
which that is very important. Evaluation of the certificate or less evaluation of the certificate is just that they want you to evaluate your certificate to know the equivalence in the Canadian education system.
Okay.
So people in that profession, the health sector, especially the doctors and the nurses, they have, let me say, they have a special evaluation agency
Hmm.
that do that. I can't really remember the name of the agency now. They have a special one that do that for them to evaluate their academic equivalence, because generally we have ways that do equivalence of degree for most of the for most people in general professions. But being the how's it called, the reality of that profession, the doctors, the nurses, they have their own agency that evaluates their certificates.
Based on
And
the profession.
based on the profession, yes, based on the profession. And these agencies also, and there are some documents they need to submit from the what's it called, the the organized uh, the organized agency that controls the body, organized body from Nigeria. They need to send some documents from there to the evaluating agency. So, but let us just say that if they're able to conclude the IELTS, the English testing exam, they are also able to evaluate their results, which is the academic certificate.
Yep.
Now, they've scaled through in the little parts.
Okay.
The duration will now be, the duration depends, but because generally the Canadian government tells you that the duration for the processing doesn't take less than 6 months.
Okay.
So, but relatively, it may not be up to 6 months. Relatively, it may be more than 6 months.
Okay. What's the duration for? 6 months to do what?
For the processes
Okay.
to go on.
Okay.
So the Canadian government pegged it for 6 months. But generally, looking at that at the journey, it's more than 6 months.
Okay. Without spreading fear, how long did it take you?
So relatively, let me say 1.5 years.
Okay, it took you like 18 months. 18 months?
Yes.
Okay, that's a very deep one because we also
Yes, let me say excuse me like 18 months because I started the journey. I started the journey October 2018, January 2020.
okay. Okay, let's find out about finance. How much does it cost to do this? Because I do not want to, start sharing personal experiences, how some of these professionals have shared with me how much they've invested or wasted, to agents, to what we call scammers and all of that. Is this process, does it cost a fortune to get this process done?
The process costs, well, the process costs a lot, but individual with their own financial capability. So I don't want to put it that it costs a fortune, but it
Okay,
costs a lot.
okay. When you say a lot, are you talking about in cash? At what point does it cost? At what point does money exchange hand? Does it exchange hand with the government? Does it exchange hand with the agencies? Does it exchange hand with who? Who are you paying? Who takes what?
Yes, even for you to sit for the English exam, you need to pay.
That's standard.
That's standard. For you to evaluate your results, you need to
That's
pay the agencies.
that's standard.
That's also standard. But between you and the government, it is when you submit your document that you pay the government.
Okay.
There is
Does
an
this
application fee
does this
that
payment
you pay to the government.
does it varies according to your profession?
It doesn't vary according to profession.
Okay, is a flat rate, right?
It's a flat one. It doesn't vary. It doesn't vary according to profession. So,
Okay.
like I said, that if people go through provincial nomination, through provincial government, if you provincial nominations means that you realize that the particular province needs your profession or needs your expatriate and you apply to that province for them to give you nomination. There are some province that requires you to pay for the application and there are
Okay.
some province that doesn't require payment for the application.
Okay. So and those payment must be paid from Nigeria, from your home country, right?
From your home country, just normal what's it called? Card.
Okay. Okay.
That's what you use to pay
Okay.
for.
Okay. Let me ask you.
But generally, I've not answered that question finished.
Please go ahead.
Generally, the proof of fund required by the Canadian government, generally as a standard, is that if you are a family of one, they requires you to present a proof of fund of $12,960. I mean Canadian dollars now.
A family of one means what?
A
A
family
wife,
of one means only single person,
just a head.
just a head.
Okay.
That's a family of one. So it requires you to have a minimum proof of fund of $12,960.
Okay.
A family of two, that requires a minimum of $16,135. Family of three requires minimum of 19,836.
So the family of three means the wife, the husband, and a kid.
And a kid, yes.
Okay. What about kids?
So the kids,
Now,
they are also member of the family.
no, what about children? Does it
They are also member of the family.
family three, right?
So family of three means the father, the mother, and a child.
Okay, so I'm saying, what about the father, the mother, and children?
Well, and children, that's why we have family of four.
Okay, okay,
Family of four, they requires minimum of $24,083.
okay,
Family of five requires minimum of $27,315.
okay, okay. That's okay. Thank you. Please go ahead.
So family of six, they requires a minimum of $30,806. So the larger your family is, the more the minimum financial the proof of fund they expect you to present.
And this proof of fund, is it presented in cowries, in ATM cards, in bank account? How do you
It's just in bank account. So it's just for you to get your statement of account from the bank,
that you have
and
X
that
amount
you
of?
have a yes, you have a certain amount of money in
Okay,
that account, and they expect you to have maintained that minimum for like 6 months.
okay, okay, okay. So if by the time I get all of this and I am certified to go through this process and I have the requirements uh, document for this and I can move to the next level, at what point will I be approved? At what point?
At the point that you will be the final point, at the final stage.
Okay,
That will be at the final stage. Because after you've submitted the necessary documents, one of the process or the first process is to go through eligibility. So going through eligibility means that they will check the document you've submitted. They will check it with the application form you have filled online.
okay,
So if you tell them that you have a PhD, so the evaluated certificate that you are presenting must show that you have a PhD.
hmm,
So at that point, technically, if you mistakenly did not submit that PhD certificate, that will be automatic refusal.
disqualification. Okay,
So at the point you go through eligibility. After if you have passed the eligibility, they will call you for biometrics. Like you should go to the nearest Canadian embassy or VFS to go and do your biometrics with them. So after the biometrics, the Canadian government also engages in what we call criminality and security clearance. So based on the profile you've submitted, they share what's it called, security knowledge with other countries for them to know if you are on the red list or the other side. So if you're able to scale through the eligibility, you scale through the criminality clearance, the security clearance, then you are ready for approval. So, but as we know that all this entails it's a long process, it's a
yes,
long journey.
I can imagine that. For breaking it down, I can also imagine why it took you 18 months to get through all of this. and it sounds interesting. Now let's get the spirit into getting into Canada. When you are cleared of all of this and you have the approval and you get into Canada, what is the first point of contact? Is there provision for accommodation by the government, or you take out of your proof of funds that you claim to have?
Well, there is no provision by the government. They expect you to have sought yourself out before you land into Canada.
By sorting your accommodation, sorting your feeding, all of it
Yes,
by yourself.
yes. So the proof of fund they requested from you is a total plan from them that okay, in the next 6 months,
Okay.
for you to have migrated to a country, you need a fund to settle down. So they
Stabilize.
expect that fund to last you for like 6 months.
Okay. Okay. It's clearer now. And this, I must say that this is just the first phase of our discussion. I will have to let you go so that you can go prepare for your meal. You you can prepare for your dinner. But before you leave, I still have to probably two questions more before you leave. And the questions might sound a bit, uh, uh, you know, we are used to it though. Let me ask you, do you advise in any right thinking professional to pay an agent to do this, or this process can be done without involving an agent that you pay to do this?
Well, I will be diplomatic with that
Okay.
because this is what some people also use as a business.
Or let me rephrase it.
It is
You
so.
use an agent.
No, I didn't use any agent. I did it by myself. I did it by myself.
I think that answers
But
it. You did it on your own. You spent 18 months and you are there.
yes,
So a right thinking right person should be able to also and move on. Okay, my last question before we leave be that what about people that are professionals but apply for a visiting visa and decide not to come back? How transformable, how transitional that is into being a professional, practicing professional in Canada. I got a visiting visa and I go to Canada that we popularly call Japa.
Japa. Well, it's not easy.
Okay.
Sincerely, it's not easy, and it takes the grace of God
Is
for
it
people to
doable?
achieve that.
Is it doable?
It's doable. It's doable, but technically, it may be illegal in some instance.
Okay.
Well, so what I mean as being illegal in some instance is that you came into a country as a visitor. Now, for you to and you have a time that you need to leave that country.
Yeah.
So they expect you to leave that country at a particular time. But due to some factors and some things that people will go through, so it is doable by you changing the classification of your visa,
Okay.
the classification of your visa from visiting to either studentship or from visiting to having a work permit.
Hmm.
So, but for you to have a work permit, it means that probably you are so lucky during your visiting, you got a job,
Hmm.
and the company is ready to help you with some documents that they need your service. So,
Hmm.
if you're able to get that backing, then you can apply to the embassy that wants to change. You can apply for a work permit. which means they will change your visa status from visiting to work permit. So
Of
during
course,
the process of the work permit, during the process that they gave you the work permit, then you can start this journey.
hmm. Of course, we've been speaking to Wasil Abdul, and Wasil Abdul has been a friend of the family. Talking about the Job Show family, I'm excited to have him on the show tonight, and he's one of our members or one of the followers of the Job Show that I respect and put to very high esteem. I must say thank you so much for creating time to join me tonight on the Job Show, Abdul. And permit me
Thank
to,
you for having me.
am I permitted to address you as a doctor? Because I also pushing for your PhD,
No,
you
I'm
know.
not. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not a doctor yet. I'm not a
Okay,
doctor.
okay, please.
Actually, I started my PhD, but not yet. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not qualified as a doctor. So I'm
Okay.
still Mr. Abdul.
I'm sure that very soon we will definitely be addressing you as a doctor. Having said that, we're able to talk fields tonight, and we did talk about there are requirements that you must achieve before you can see yourself transiting to Canada or migrating to Canada. You must consider the language skills that comes with points. You must also consider your educational status, talking about qualifications. You must also consider your age, and of
Yeah,
course, you must also consider your working experience and arrange employment status as well. Then you must also look at your adaptability if you must get into this process as my guest tonight has analyzed it in pieces to us. And of course, he also put more light on the processes as a Nigerian or as an African thinking or dreaming to come to Canada. You must get your English proficiency evaluation ready, uh, get it done. You must also prepare, talking about the duration of less, minimum of 6 months and a maximum of 18 months, according to a personal experience. And of course, you also need to get information about the proof of funds that you must have before you start dreaming of seeing yourself in Canada. Of course, if you are a family of one, 12,960, family of two, 16,035, and of course, a family of three, 19,836, and the family of four, $24,083 in Canadian dollar, as we may have. So, if you are there, then you must make it a tradition to see if we can talk to Abdul. Abdul, you know the tradition. Can we give out, put your undo on the show? Then again, some might also request for counseling section from you, which I know that you know the tradition on the show. Everything we do on this show, it is absolutely for free. You know, we don't
definitely.
monetize it. Yes, we have never monetized any job on this show, and we will never monetize it because the foundation of the show has been for free and for free. We've lost count though. Over 6,000 people have fully gained employment on this platform, and we don't even know them, you know. And we're just doing it, and we keep doing it as time permits. Also, please oblige me to give your handle out, and we can take it further, or your email to anybody that desire to speak with you. The moment they tell you we're from the job show, you know what to do.
Definitely, I know.
Thank you so much. Thank you
All
so much,
right.
Abdul. So we hope to talk to you again. And next time we'll be speaking, we'll be looking at job seeking in Canada. Job seeking, because I'm aware, no matter how sweet or how uh, green, you know, the other side of it is, there are job seekers everywhere in the world. So I want to put a little touch on that and see how do people search for jobs in Canada that is different from uh, my own country, your own country, as we speak. Thank you so much, Abdul. I hope to talk to you again. And of course, it's time for you to get all know the places and the sectors you can invest your money on. See where the thinking tank is available. So get your paper and pen, the investors out there, and listen to all entrepreneurs and the smart ones that have great ideas and they are seeking for investors. We will be back after this time. Please do not go away. It's still the Job Show.
Good day, everyone. I am Harrison Yakob, and I'm on Job Show TV. I'm here to talk about a platform I found, which is called Digicon. Alright, so Digicon is a platform that seeks to gather well-meaning professionals in the digital sphere that are also willing to transfer these digital skills to young, well-meaning individuals that are also looking forward to coming into the digital space. Alright. Apart from that, one of our dreams also is to help businesses become smarter. In Nigeria, especially, maybe because I'm in Nigeria, and Sub-Saharan Africa. This is a brief of what we are into or what we intend to go into long term. Alright, so if you think this is a good fit for you as an investor, well, why not reach out to me on 081 7840 3767. I'll do that again, 081 7840 3767. I'll be glad to welcome your call and then have a brief chit chat about the business process. Actually, this business process has a blueprint. I'll be willing to share with you when you contact me, and then we'll talk about the terms and conditions. Thank you. God bless you. As I look forward to you coming in contact with me.
For all your public speaking concern, organizational communication concerns, Boss Public Speaking Academy is here to provide the right solution that will make you travel from where you are to where you're supposed to be. Thank you so much.
And of course, welcome back. This is the Job Show. We're definitely going to take a break and get on the jobs information as you have it. Keep getting it, keep writing it, and keep applying for this job. We will definitely be back. It's the job segment.
One fi scope, one fi shank wa. Lórí WhatsApp, one fi block wa. Aki wọn kí wọn respond wa. Wọ́n fẹ́ kó wọlé, wọ́n fẹ́ sponsor wa. Torí nígbà kan mi ní package. Ngatenuge, ngata ori nkan jẹ. Ngatenuge, ngata ori nkan jẹ. Wọ́n yẹra fún wa, wọ́n jápa. Wọ́n yẹra fún wa, wọ́n sá lọ. Wọ́n fèrègé, wọ́n gbéra. Wọ́n yẹra fún wa, wọ́n jápa. Ọwọ́ epo. Àti mọ̀ wọ́n ọwọ́ epo. Àwọn lábòsí ọwọ́ epo. Àwọn tẹ́nu yìí ọwọ́ epo. Yé ọwọ́ epo. Àti mọ̀ wọ́n ọwọ́ epo. Àwọn aláròpin ọwọ́ epo. Àwọn tẹ́nu yìí ọwọ́ epo. wọ́n fi scope wọ́n fi shank wa lórí WhatsApp wọ́n ti block wa akí wọn respond wa wọ́n fẹ́ kówó lẹ̀ wọ́n fẹ́ sponsor wa torí nígbà kan mi ní package kò sí manager mo manage wọ́n ti gbàgbé pé story máa change wọ́n tún sọ wípé mi lè rà range ara range àtúrájí wa gan ẹ máa sanwó nsìn tẹ́ bá máa rí wa jọ ẹ rò pa mọ́ yín a ò mọ̀ yín tẹ́ bá gbé mú bá ó sá wọ́n máa nà yín ṣe bá kọ́ mi ló máa ń di star kí ló wá dé tẹ́ máa ń bù mí gbà yẹn tí máa ń freestyle ṣe bá kẹ̀dẹ̀ tí wá blow sìn àti gbé first ẹ̀dẹ̀kẹ̀dẹ̀ tí wá tó ń sìn ọwọ́ epo àti mọ̀ yín o ọwọ́ epo ẹ̀yàn láàbò sí ọwọ́ epo ẹ̀yàn tẹ́nu yìí ọwọ́ epo ọwọ́ epo àti mọ̀ yín o ọwọ́ epo ẹ̀yàn láàrọ̀pìn ọwọ́ epo ẹ̀yàn tẹ́nu yìí ọwọ́ epo ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ní kí sẹ́. Ngatẹnugẹ, ngbata orí nǹkan jẹ. Ngatẹnugẹ, ngbata orí nǹkan jẹ. Wọ́n yẹra fún wa, wọ́n jápa. Wọ́n yẹra fún wa, wọ́n sá lọ. Wọ́n ferege, wọ́n gbéra. Wọ́n yẹra fún wa, wọ́n jápa. Ọwọ́ epo. Àti mọ̀ wọ́n ọwọ́ epo àwọn lábòsí ọwọ́ epo àwọn tẹ́nu yìí ọwọ́ epo yé ọwọ́ epo àti mọ̀ wọ́n ọwọ́ epo àwọn aláròpin ọwọ́ epo àwọn tẹ́nu yìí ọwọ́ epo wọ́n fi scope wọ́n fi shank wa lórí WhatsApp wọ́n ti block wa akí wọn respond wa wọ́n fẹ́ kówó lẹ̀ wọ́n fẹ́ sponsor wa torí nígbà kan mi ní package kò sí manager mo manage wọ́n ti gbàgbé pé story máa change wọ́n tún sọ wípé mi lè rà range ara range àtúrájí wa gan ẹ máa sanwó nsìn tẹ́ bá máa rí wa jọ ẹ rò pa mọ́ yín a ò mọ̀ yín tẹ́ bá gbé mú bá ó sá wọ́n máa nà yín ṣe bá kọ́ mi ló máa ń di star kí ló wá dé tẹ́ máa ń bù mí gbà yẹn tí máa ń freestyle ṣe bá kẹ̀dẹ̀ tí wá blow sìn àti gbé first ẹ̀dẹ̀kẹ̀dẹ̀ tí wá tó ń sìn ọwọ́ epo àti mọ̀ yín o ọwọ́ epo ẹ̀yàn láàbò sí ọwọ́ epo ẹ̀yàn tẹ́nu yìí ọwọ́ epo ọwọ́ epo àti mọ̀ yín o ọwọ́ epo ẹ̀yàn láàrọ̀pìn ọwọ́ epo ẹ̀yàn tẹ́nu yìí ọwọ́ epo ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ní kí sẹ́. Ngatẹnugẹ, ngbata orí nǹkan jẹ. Ngatẹnugẹ, ngbata orí nǹkan jẹ. Wọ́n yẹra fún wa, wọ́n jápa. Wọ́n yẹra fún wa, wọ́n sá lọ. Wọ́n ferege, wọ́n gbéra. Wọ́n yẹra fún wa, wọ́n jápa. Ọwọ́ epo. Àti mọ̀ wọ́n ọwọ́ epo àwọn lábòsí ọwọ́ epo àwọn tẹ́nu yìí ọwọ́ epo yé ọwọ́ epo àti mọ̀ wọ́n ọwọ́ epo àwọn aláròpin ọwọ́ epo àwọn tẹ́nu yìí ọwọ́ epo wọ́n fi scope wọ́n fi shank wa lórí WhatsApp wọ́n ti block wa akí wọn respond wa wọ́n fẹ́ kówó lẹ̀ wọ́n fẹ́ sponsor wa torí nígbà kan mi ní package kò sí manager mo manage wọ́n ti gbàgbé pé story máa change wọ́n tún sọ wípé mi lè rà range ara range àtúrájí wa gan ẹ máa sanwó nsìn tẹ́ bá máa rí wa jọ ẹ rò pa mọ́ yín a ò mọ̀ yín tẹ́ bá gbé mú bá ó sá wọ́n máa nà yín ṣe bá kọ́ mi ló máa ń di star kí ló wá dé tẹ́ máa ń bù mí gbà yẹn tí máa ń freestyle ṣe bá kẹ̀dẹ̀ tí wá blow sìn àti gbé first ẹ̀dẹ̀kẹ̀dẹ̀ tí wá tó ń sìn ọwọ́ epo àti mọ̀ yín o ọwọ́ epo ẹ̀yàn láàbò sí ọwọ́ epo ẹ̀yàn tẹ́nu yìí ọwọ́ epo ọwọ́ epo àti mọ̀ yín o ọwọ́ epo ẹ̀yàn láàrọ̀pìn ọwọ́ epo ẹ̀yàn tẹ́nu yìí ọwọ́ epo ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ní kí sẹ́. Bata ori nkan jẹ. Ngatẹnu gẹ. Bata ori nkan jẹ. Wọ́n yẹra fún wa. Wọ́n jápa. Wọ́n yẹra fún wa. Wọ́n sá lọ. Wọ́n fèrè gé. Wọ́n gbéra. Wọ́n yẹra fún wa. Wọ́n jápa. Ọwọ́ epo. Àti mọ̀ wọ́n ọwọ́ epo. Àwọn lábòsí ọwọ́ epo. Àwọn tẹ́nu yìí ọwọ́ epo. Yé ọwọ́ epo. Àti mọ̀ wọ́n ọwọ́ epo. Àwọn aláròpin ọwọ́ epo. Àwọn tẹ́nu yìí ọwọ́ epo. Wọ́n fi scope, wọ́n fi shank wa. Lórí WhatsApp, wọ́n ti block wa. A kí wọ́n respond wa. Wọ́n fẹ́ kówó lẹ̀, wọ́n fẹ́ sponsor wa. Torí nígbà kan mi ní package. Kò sí manager, mo manage. Wọ́n ti gbàgbé pé story máa change. Wọ́n tún sọ wípé mélòó ra range. Ara range, àtúrájí wa gan. Ẹ máa sanwó nsìn, tẹ́ bá máa rí wa jọ. Ẹ rò pa mọ́ yín, a ò mọ̀ yín. Tẹ́ bá gbé mú bá ó sọ.
And that's all we definitely can take on the show tonight. We definitely want to say a big thank you to our guest tonight, Wasil Abdul, sharing that insight with us on how you definitely can transition from Africa to Canada or migrate as you may have it. We've been able to talk more about it. So in case you need to speak with him, of course, you can get him on his Twitter handle, and you can also talk to us as well. One thing you must know, every information you get on this platform, it is absolutely for free. Abimbola Adewale is my name. If you are a job seeker, do a 60 seconds video. Tell me what you can do, and of course send it to the jobshowafrica@gmail.com or send me on Instagram or Twitter. We will take it up from there and push it out to all investors that desire to get you on board if you are an entrepreneur as well. This is the Job Show. I will see you again talking about the Job Show on the Job Show TV. Abimbola Adewale is my name. If you are a job seeker, getting job is one of the exciting things to do. It is easy, as you may think that it is not easy, but quote me anytime. Getting a job is as easy as ABC. Follow the principles and you will get a job. One of the principles you need to do, you must be ready to work for free and acquire that knowledge. When you do work for free, come on, you can also negotiate with the employer of labor that you are willing to do more if he can compensate you with what you are doing. Before you know it, you will definitely get into the system. I'll see you again on the Job Show. Every job is always a part-time.